If I had to describe myself as a type of reader, I would definitely describe me as a slow reader. Sometimes it can take me weeks to read a book, and I often get into reading slumps. So for this week, I wanted to challenge myself. The challenge is to read 5 books in a week. So I finished book 1. I read The King of Elf and Learned to Eat Stories. This was like a fairly easy read. I think it took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It is very like a lot of drawings and just like random stories sprinkled through it. I really enjoyed it a lot. Anything that's like in this universe that has to do with like Carden and like the interactions between Jude and Carden are like what I live for. There's a lot of like cute moments in here, so I really love this. I think it's magical and beautiful. This is book 1. The next one that I want to read is Kim Ji-young, born 1982. It is also a fairly short read. I think it's less than 200 pages. The plans for tomorrow is to start and finish this one and start and make good progress on Clint. I keep forgetting which one is the next one. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Hello. So I'm going to wait for Luna to finish using the litter box. Now, what I was talking about is that I am going to like participate, I guess, in a contest which is being held over like on Instagram. I'm telling you this because at this point I've like I moved past manifestation station and I am now fully in delusional land. And no one can stop me. Delusional central, bitch, I am the central. I already won the contest, for sure, because the contest, the winner gets a new phone, which I need. It's promoted by like Fnac and Samsung, and you get like the flip phone, like the Galaxy Flip Z6, I think. I hope I'm saying that right. And you also win a trip to South Korea. So, like I said, bitch, I already won. I need it so bad that this is what we're resorting to. So now, I'm going to post this. I don't know why I'm so nervous. So I'm gonna come back to you guys in a month telling you that I won. Now I'm gonna go to my room, start reading Kim Ji-young, born 1982. And yeah, the 2 kitties are already there. Luna's over here sniffing something, and Nina, I think, is over there at the top or so. I have to show you. She's watching like the live stream. Can you see? Look at her. She's staring at the screen. She likes League. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can't believe I'm raising a degenerate daughter. Look at her. Oh my god. Crazy. Crazy. I think I'm at the halfway point. Oh, I am not at the halfway point. I'm about to start page 69. This is hard to enjoy when this is like part of the reality that you live. Like, oh my god, it sucks, everything sucks. Like when she was talking about being in school, and then the boy that was behind her, that was next to her in the desk, was like hitting her and bullying her, and then she told the teacher, and the teacher was like, oh, it's because he likes you. I hate that with a passion. And then there's this part here where I think it's Anyang that says it. Once again, pronunciation, I suck at this. Besides, I don't know if I'm going to get married or if I'm going to have children, or maybe I'll die before I get to do any of that. Why do I have to deny myself something I want right now to prepare for a future that may or may not come? I've been really loving this read, and I definitely am going to like start and finish it today. I mean, that is part of the challenge. So I can say I'm excited to see where this is going, because I don't think this is going down a good path, in the sense that I'm going to get frustrated, I'm going to get upset, I'm probably going to cry. Very good. I'm happy that I'm finally reading this. Like I said, I've had this on my wish list for such a long time, so it's good to have it here finally, in that I'm reading it. So finished reading Kim Ji-young Born 1982. I finished it completely, and it's just, oh my god. Like I was saying, it's soul destroying because it's just reality. This isn't like, I don't know if the story is actually real, but I was about to say like it's fiction, but it's not fiction, because it's just reality. And the constant like men constantly having the realization that women's life like fucking suck, and that they make it so much harder only for them to like continue the cycle without even thinking twice, because it doesn't affect them at all. Like the ending, oh my god, very good book. I gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. So very good read. I really enjoyed this book. I highly recommend it. Now this is a big step down because I'm reading Lint, and I don't know if it's the mood. I don't know if I was in a different mood when I read Guild. I remember I didn't enjoy Guild all that much, but I remember it being way more enjoyable than whatever the fuck I'm reading right now in Lint. I don't know, once again, if it's because I read this right after like Kim Ji-young, because this one, it's not hitting. It's really not hitting. I'm on page 23. I want to get to page at least like page 150 or something. And yeah, I think I'm gonna feed them now, because Luna's meowing at me, as you can probably see. And then I'll continue reading as much as I can today. So I am on chapter 7. Oh, you can't see shit. I'm on chapter 17. There you go. Like, I don't hate the book per se. I don't think it's my favorite book of all time. It's not like a hard read by any means. It's just, I find that the story is so boring. I still haven't done my like a reading journal thing, like updating my reading journal, and I think I'm gonna need to do that tomorrow. I'm on page 127. I'm not even gonna make the joke because thinking about any city makes me a little sick right now. This book is... like, I think I'm only going to have like 2 feelings after I finish it. But I'm just kind of like, oh, I just want the story to progress, it needs to happen so that I can move on. And also, I found out, I think yesterday, that a new book is gonna come out of this series. The 6th book of this... There's 6 books in this series. The 6th book of this series is going to come out in September of this year. It's called Goldfinch, which is what Rip calls her. So I think the direction that this is going is that she's going to end up with Rip and then try to destroy Midas, because yeah, nobody likes Midas. Everybody hates Midas. So why we need 6 books to tell that story, I don't know.
My oh my, we both look so fly like sweet apple pie. Yeah, they want a piece of us. My oh my, when we drive on by, they just can't deny. Yeah, they wanna be like us. Na 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 na.
Done. I finished Linked. It's something. It's the way I spent like the past like 200 pages just like skimming through and not actually reading because I was so fucking tired of all the descriptions and all the words that were saying nothing interesting. Like, oh my fucking god. Basically what happened is that we found out that King Rot and Rip are the same person. Dun dun dun. And I'm sorry, but like already starting to like piss me off. Like at first, like I really like understood her and I understood why she reacted the way she reacted. But right now, she faced the worst betrayal she ever faced with like King Midas. She was like, oh my god, I'll never trust you again. And then like he does this thing, like, Rip does this thing where he becomes like King Rot and then like shows her that he's King Rot. She's like, this is the worst betrayal I've ever felt. She's like, you're dumb. I hate you. You're stupid. Like, you're really fucking stupid. I think I'm gonna try to find a book that is not as big and start it today because, oh my fucking god. But we'll see what I end up choosing. So like I said, I finished Clint. I decided to start Caraval, whatever the fuck. I'm on page 23. I'm semi-intrigued, but I'm tired today. So I think I'm gonna like finish that book tomorrow. See you guys tomorrow. I did the spread for the King of Elfheim Learn to Eat Stories and for Glint. And now the only one I'm missing is Kim Ji-young, born 1982, but I still haven't printed out the like thing for the book cover, and I don't want to just like print one in a huge page. I said this book was alright. I was really disappointed by it. It felt like 90% of the book was just filler and the ending just annoyed me. Not the part where she goes up against Midas, but the part where she finds out about Rip and she starts talking about it being a betrayal. Girl, not even 20 pages ago you were saying you didn't want to be with him, that you'll always choose Midas. You don't think that was a betrayal? I feel like there's too much talk, not much showing, and I feel like that's not good in a book. She's constantly telling herself, like Oren is constantly telling herself that she's had such a big change. She's not the same person she was at the beginning. She's so different, but at actions she's not really doing anything that's that different, to be honest. The only thing that she did was going up against Midas, but even then she still has a lot of like the same mentalities. I think you don't really know how much she has changed. The only reason why you have an idea that she's changed is because she's continuously saying, hey, I've changed. And that's the only thing that you have. And the same thing like at the end when she's like, this is a betrayal, like Rip lied to me, but this time like I've been lied to again, but this time it's by this man that I thought I could trust, or something like that. Like the amount of times she went up against this man and she told him every single time like, I'll always choose Midas no matter what, and now you expect him to like tell you the truth about everything. This is so confusing. Like, what the fuck? And she had like that moment with him when they watched the stars of like that's supposed to symbolize like the fae that had passed away, and then still after that she had a huge fight with Rip where she was like, no, like I'm gonna stay, like no, I'm gonna choose Midas always. I'll always choose Midas. That's what she said. And now she's upset that she lied to him. What were you expecting? You kept saying to yourself like, I'm a prisoner, like I'm not your friend. And yet you're still surprised that they didn't tell you every single secret that they have. Isn't that the stupidest shit you've ever heard? But yeah. Okay, hello, today is Monday. The week has come and gone, and obviously I didn't complete the challenge that I set for myself, but I did read a lot more than what I was expecting, so that's still a win. Okay, so in this week my challenge was to read 5 books in a week. I started on Tuesday. I read 3 books like fully. I read How the King of Elfheim Learned to Eat Stories, I read Glint, and I read Kim Ji-young, born 1982. And yeah, overall, like the ratings, I gave all the King of Elfamily Date Stories 5 stars. And then the second book that I read in this week was Kim Ji-young, born 1982, which is a story about how Kim Ji-young, she's Korean, and she's born in a society where women aren't exactly treated nicely, which is pretty much every society, but you know what I mean. And she starts talking about experiences where when she grew up, like since she was a kid until like she grows up and becomes a mother herself, she starts realizing that society doesn't really take kindly to women, and that you can't, like, it's basically, if I had to put it into an analogy, not an analogy, but if I had to, you know, the best way to explain this book in for someone who's not smart like me would be like the monologue from Barbie. If you watch the movie, it says exactly like, literally impossible to be a woman. You are so beautiful and so smart, and it kills me that you don't think you're good enough. Like, we always have to be extraordinary, but somehow we're always doing it wrong. You have to be thin, but not too thin, and you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but you also have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You can't. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's bad behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining. You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much, or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood. But always stand out and always be grateful, but never forget that the system is rigged. So find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful. You have to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. It's too hard. It's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you. And it turns out, in fact, that not only are you doing everything wrong, but also everything is your fault. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. And if all of that is also true for adults representing women, then I don't even know. Like that, this is a very good explanation of like what it's like being a woman. It's like, it's insane. There's a lot of things that I didn't know about, but apparently in South Korea, for a while, I don't know if it's still true, but for a while, reasonable, like a good reason for an abortion was if your baby was like a girl. Like if you got pregnant and you found out it was a girl, you could get aborted just because it was a girl. So that you could have like a boy. Like in the story, I think it's our mother. Yeah, it's Kim Ji-young's mother, that she like gets the first pregnancy and it's a girl, the second pregnancy and it's a girl, and then she gets pregnant a third time and it's a girl, and she goes and gets an abortion because she didn't want a third girl, and then she gets pregnant again and it's a boy and she keeps him. And I was like, that's actually fucking insane. Actually insane. And I hate it. So yeah, it was a very good book. I definitely really loved it. I also gave it 5 stars. And then we get into Glint, which is the second book in the series of The Plated Prisoner or something like that. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I didn't like Glint at all. I gave it 3 stars. My Goodreads review was just I called it a nothing sandwich because that's what it felt like. It was just if I had to describe this would be like the filler episode in an anime. And you should have seen my face when I found out that there's a 6th book coming out. This series not only has 5 books, but there's a 6th coming out, and this is gonna be the last one. It doesn't bode well for the pace of the story that there needs to be a 6th book, because if it was for me, then this would already be like the 3rd would be the end and that's it. I feel like that's a good ending point, but it is what it is. So overall, 2 5 stars and 1 3 stars, you know, could be worse. I really enjoyed this, and I'm definitely going to read more from now on. This got me in the mood to read more. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have 2 cats right here. They're still doing fine. They have names. Like in the last video, I gave them names after I started editing the video, but this is Uki. As you can see, he has like 2 wet spots on his tummy, so it's not like Nina. And he's a boy. He's the only boy of the house. So how do you feel? How do you feel, Mr. Kitty? So they're a lot fatter now because they've been eating, obviously. And then over here we have Minnie. So it's Uki and Minnie. She's like comfy, I think, but I can pull her out. She's biting me. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Ah, you're mean. You're a mean one. There you go. This is Minnie. They're very like lively. They're lovely. And they're crazy as well. They love like fighting each other. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, and I'll see you guys for next week's if I end up publishing them. Bye bye.